Previously on PDubs Arcade Loft, we had done our review and tutorial for the Buy Stuff Store Yoke and Wheel gaming box using just a simple setup of plugging it into a television or monitor as well as on a pedestal stand, but this is sold as, in particular, a kit to use on your AtGames Legends Ultimate. Will this provide a great arcade experience combined with the Legends Ultimate? That's what we're going to find out. Part 1 link below. Let's start with Part 2. Okay, step 1 is to remove your control panel from your AtGames Legends Ultimate arcade machine. There's going to be 2 screws at the top corners of the control panel. Take those off. If you have pinball buttons on the side here where I'm pointing with that screwdriver, make sure your pinball button panels are removed, as well as make sure the side screws are removed. Once all those screws are removed, you're able to simply slide your control panel a little bit forward and detach the 3 cables that connect your control panel to your Legends Ultimate arcade machine. Okay, step 2, you're going to grab this toggle switch with 2 cables sticking out of it that comes inside the Yoke and Wheel gaming box kit from the Buy Stuff arcades. You're going to peel off that red tape, you're going to flip over your control panel exactly like so, and you're going to go ahead and stick this in the top left corner exactly like so. Just give it a nice firm press. The tape will hold it on there. It's not going to fall off. Okay, now it's time to mount the actual gaming box to the bottom of the control panel. Peel the red tape. That way this will stick on there. Make sure that you have the smooth side next to the toggle switch and plug it in adjacent to the toggle switch. Just give it a nice firm press. It'll mount down there just fine. There's 2 cables coming out of the toggle switch. What you're going to do is take the shorter cable and plug that into the power supply port on the gaming box. It's the very first port next to the toggle switch. Okay, step number 4, you're going to grab this long T-connector cable or Y-splitter cable that comes included with the Yoke and Wheel gaming box kit. You're going to find that power cable that you had unplugged to remove your control panel, and you're going to go ahead and plug this in right here. That way we can split the power between the arcade machine and the gaming box. Okay, step 5, inside of the Yoke and Wheel gaming box kit, you'll see that voltage cable as well as this flat ribbon HDMI cable. We're going to go ahead and plug in this side of the HDMI ribbon cable into the Yoke and Wheel gaming box. And yes, we're going to go ahead and connect the other side of the cable to the HDMI port on the AtGames Legends Ultimate arcade machine. Yes, we're doing everything now, and we're going to flip everything over in just a minute. On your toggle switch that's mounted next to the gaming box, you'll remember now you have this super long cable that you haven't used yet. You're going to take this cable, it's only going to plug in one way, and you're going to plug this into that voltage device that comes with the kit, and you're just going to drop everything inside of the cabinet. All right, we've made it to step number 6, where we're going to flip over our control panel as well as connect our T-cables and start getting our final wiring in place. When it comes to flipping over your control panel, do it very slowly, very carefully. Make sure any of the cables coming from the toggle switch as well as the gaming box as well as the one going into the HDMI port aren't going to block any of your screws, because you do plan on screwing this back in and get it mounted nice and flush and easy. Then you're going to reach inside your control panel here, and remember we took that original power cable and we added this T connector. Well, now we can go ahead and take one side of that T connector, and now we can go ahead and connect that to the control panel on our AtGames Legends Ultimate back into the power port. So we're just going to go ahead and find that, plug that in. Now this other side, this is going to go into that super long cable that you dropped into the cabinet that's got that voltage connector on it. This regulates the power to the gaming box, making sure you don't fry your system, etc. And you can go ahead and drop that back in. And now all of our power cables are hooked up. No worries, my dudes, we are almost done. Step 7, we're going to grab here. Remember, there's 3 cables from the AtGames Legends Ultimate that connected into your control panel. You're going to take the last 2 cables that you haven't plugged back in yet, that white cable for your control panel. You're going to plug that back into the controlled panel, as well as the USB cable. You're going to go ahead and plug that in as well. At this point, you have everything wired up, and you can go ahead and slide your control panel back into place. Make sure nothing's getting pitched, bent, or anything is in the way of your screws. If you feel that you connected everything correctly and that everything is going to turn on the way it should, you could go ahead and screw back in your control panel the 2 screws on the top corners, as well as the 2 screws on the front corners on the side panels, as well as go ahead and put your pinball buttons back on if you have pinball buttons as well. The whole point of this kit from the Buy Stuff Arcades team is to have a super clean install and a way to play more games. Look at how clean that looks. Having that gaming box as well as the toggle switch that powers the gaming box hidden underneath the control panel. At this point, you're going to go ahead and take the USB cable from whatever you're going to use, whether it's the GRS Flight Yoke, a Thrustmaster steering wheel, an Hori steering wheel. You're going to go ahead and plug that into the USB cable, the very first one on the side there of the gaming box. Again, you want to be plugged into the gaming box, not into the arcade. You don't want to have any input lag or latency using OTG mode. And then you're going to go ahead and use whatever mount. In this case, we're using the Buy Stuff Arcades mount that fits the AtGames arcade cabinets, and we're going to hide our wires underneath the control panel there. It's a super clean look. Alright, we've made it to step number 9. Time to power on and play. With your arcade machine turned on, go ahead and hit the HDMI button on the arcade machine to switch to your HDMI port. It'll say here, hey, I'm not detecting a signal. Well, guess what? All we're going to do is flick that toggle switch to power on the gaming box. It's going to take a second. It's going to read a signal through the HDMI, and boom, your gaming box is now displayed on the arcade machine. It'll play the really cool Buy Stuff Arcades intro. I'm gonna have this muted in order to avoid getting a copyright claim on the music. But if you have the volume turned up on your arcade machine, you will hear the music and sounds coming through the HDMI cable and coming through the speakers on the arcade machine. I'll show you some gameplay footage here while I give you my final thoughts on this product. Again, make sure you check out the part 1 video where I show off all the games included with this gaming box setup. Also, it's important to note that if you do get this gaming box and connect it to your internet via Wi-Fi or the Ethernet, there are some networking online games. You can play some online racing games or other flying games against other owners of this gaming box, or maybe even online. I might have to do another video showing off some of the online co-op gameplay or versus gameplay features. Overall, this is a great way to get an additional console system connected to your arcade machine to help you play more games, and it's done in a very clean and neat manner where it's not so clunky and dirty. Overall, I've been having a really good time with this. My preferred setup is just to use this gaming box and, a wheel or a yoke on a pedestal stand in front of a big TV. But since they designed this specifically for the AtGames Legends Ultimate arcade machines, the setup that the Buy Stuff store guys went with is actually really, really cool. Again, don't forget to check out the part 1 video if you haven't done so already. I might do a part 3 showing some online gaming. We'll see how it goes, but let me know what you guys think about this. Hopefully this video was helpful. Give me your thoughts, feedback, reactions below. Give us a thumbs up on the way out, and thank you for subscribing.